I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. In between working on the room next door and all the other tasks that I have in my life, I found a few moments to slip out and cruise a few garage sales. As I was going down the main street in Richland, which is 2 blocks long, as I was driving down the main street as I was driving down 32nd Street in Richland, I noticed that there was a garage sale sign. Ready magnet for me, right? I always want to go to a garage sale. So I stopped by and looked. It was the usual thing. Children's clothes, knick-knacks, and treadmills. Yeah, you pretty much see a treadmill everywhere you go at a garage sale in Richland, because people buy them thinking that they're going to use them, and like most, they sit in the corner and don't get used. But at this one garage sale, I found something that was rather unusual. Yeah, an actual tool. So I stopped and took a look at it, and I heard the words that every garage sailor loves to hear. You know what that is? That was this seller. That meant that they didn't know what they had. On a table in the garage was this thing, marked $1. Now, little bits of metal marked $1 are usually something that attract my eye. But this one, I said, that's kind of cool, because I knew that it actually went like this. And it's very similar to this. And can be used for a similar purpose as this. Now, what do all these have in common? They're positioners. This one is a base that I picked up at Radio Shack years and years and years ago. I think they sell them at Harbor Freight now. Radio Shack's gone out of business, at least in this area. There might still be a Radio Shack around, but the stores in Kalamazoo have closed. That was one of my favorite hunting spots because I like electronics. Antique tools and electronics. Doesn't seem to go together, right? Well, it does. Anyways, this is a soldering stand. You would clip a circuit board in there used to be 2 alligator prongs. One of these has fallen out in the drawer, I guess. You would clip the printed circuit board in these 2 alligator clips, line up your magnifying glass so that you could see what you were soldering, and solder the connections. Still use this, but not very often. This Bessy clamp was one that Ryan gave me. I use it for those awkward positioning situations where you want to have something held up at an odd angle, so you can loosen it up and clamp it on its side, or use it as a stand for something you want to paint. I've used this a lot. This thing, on the other hand, is a heavy-duty piece of equipment. Back in 1956, in Southgate, California, a gentleman named Colbert was a die-cast die maker. And he decided he needed a way to be able to hold the dies so he could work on them. Now, die casting is fussy work. There's a lot of little things, and it can be plastic injection, it can be zinc injection, aluminum injection, all manner of things. And lots of little small passages, because it's a great thing. It's a steel die that you inject whatever you're going to cast into it, and it's a fixed dimension. You just have to allow for shrink and make the die, and it'll make a part one pass. You cast it, knock the gates off, it's done. So it's very precision work. And this was his invention to help him do his work. It lets you rotate the part, clamp it, do whatever you need to do to it, take it out, and go back to work. If you have to polish a small section it's hard to reach, this lets you position the die piece. Now, in my line of work, I do a lot of repairs. I repair antique tools, like C-clamps. Not a normal thing to have to do a die repair, or not a normal thing to have to do a whole lot of positioning to repair it. But if you want to clean this thing, speed knob on this vise would be a good thing to have. But if you want to clean something and scrape, or work on any part of it, that's invaluable. It's a really nice thing to have. I was very, very surprised to get it for $1. But I was happy. I'm going to make a base for it very similar to the one for this vise, so I can clamp it in the woodworking vise and have it on the bench so that I can do work with it. Makes it easy to get it on and off, and I only have a limited amount of real estate on my workbench. Being able to pop it in and out of the woodworking vise is going to make it invaluable. So that's my find for today. I have some work to do on it, but I think it's going to be a really good addition to the shop. One of the features of the vise is it has removable rubber jaws. Which slip off of there. They have grooves in them that let you grip objects with different shapes. And you can take them off for those times that you just want to grip something and hold it tightly. Like this. Collet for the, and you can take off the rubber jaws holding something tightly. Flip the rubber jaws on it. Let you grab a hold of it. And I'll be able to go in here with my tools and clean out all the grooves. It's going to be quite handy. This is a tool to make other jobs easier. It's kind of a force multiplier on tools. Otto, thanks for making this thing. And unfortunately, I don't remember the lady's name, but thanks for selling it to me. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. I read them all.